did not realize I was this close up to the goddamn camera. God damn. I'm tripping. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to get this shit popping. Hold on. Give me 1 sec. 1 second. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna see if I could guide the homie Imran real quick. Let me see if I can get him on the Zoom call real quick. Let's start that. Give me 1 second. Let me try to. Okay, I gotta find out how to share this goddamn link, man. Click that link to join in. Boom. So as you can see, hold on, let me make sure y'all can hear me properly. Let me check my Streamlabs. Boom. Okay. If y'all can hear me properly, yo, what's going on? This is J Damage. I'm back again on another video. As you can see today we are working on the character Oscar Proud. I was gonna show you guys how to create a Proud family character. I'm actually not showing you how to create one now that I think about it. Right now we just doing the same exercise that I show a lot of my beginners of how to do line work for a character. It's just that the Proud family character is what we'll be using today on this exercise. Now if you look at the way that the Proud family character is structured, they actually changed it. Now the original way that the Proud family characters were, they would have colorful outlines. They still kept the colorful, let me change that back to 99%. They still keep the colorful outlines on the skin and whatever, but they took it off the clothes. So the clothes is all solid colors, and then the skin has those colorful outlines still. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just give the whole thing black outlines. I'm gonna do it my own way today, because just struggling with these colored outlines is just irritating. It just makes the process so much longer than what it needs to be. So what we'll be doing today is just the line work exercise, and we just gonna go from there. So I'm trying to see if the homie Imran is gonna respond. If he doesn't, then we're gonna go ahead and start this process until he does, because I had to walk him through some stuff. I could damn near try to walk him through it on live stream just so I can give y'all an example of what it looks like to actually walk somebody through the process when I personally do it with people. So let's go ahead and get started. So what you want to do is, once you have your picture, what you want to do is drag your picture into Adobe Illustrator. It should look something like this with whatever settings you want to have. Like, let's say once you start a new project, you start it with my new projects. I'm gonna tell y'all my personal settings. I always start my project with either a 5x5 inch or a 10x10 inch, far as the size of the layout. And then I just drag the picture in. Once you get to this step of dragging your picture in on the on here, what I want you to do is double click that layer 1 on the right side corner, on the right side bottom right hand corner of your screen. Double click that layer 1. And then click on template. And then what you want to do is where it says dim images 2, change that to 50%. Or whatever percent that you prefer. Always either choose 50 or 30. Let's choose 50. Boom. Once you choose 50, as you notice, the whole project has now gotten lighter. The reason why it's getting lighter, because this is going to be the layer that we use to trace over with our line work. So what you want to do once you get that done, you go ahead and hit the plus sign on the bottom right hand corner. It's right next to the trash can. It says create new layer. Click that. Boom. Once you create the new layer, let's go ahead and work with our pen tool and our curvature tool. Now, like I always say in my previous videos, most people cannot afford to have a lot of the pen tablets, the iPad Pros, and things of that nature. So I always show you guys how to make these designs fresh out the program. Now, once you get your money up and whatever, and you get you a pen tablet and you want a tutorial on that, all you have to do is just DM me and request it, and I can go ahead and walk you through that also. But what we're working on right now for our line work is the pen tool, the curvature tool, and if you need me to, I can show you with the paintbrush tool. Paintbrush tool is literally the exact same thing as if you had a pen tablet or whatnot. But let me just give me 1 second. I'm gonna check and see if I'm online on all these different sites. Okay, I think the homie Imran is in here. Let me see if he gonna join in, because he just seen the message. If he's seen the message, then I can show y'all that real quick. I gotta see if I'm even online. Give me 1 second. They say, "What's good, bro? God, you cool as hell with them glasses." Yeah, man, these glasses, these is James Oros. I don't know if y'all ever heard of these, but these are James Oros. These $200 glasses, man. These is not no cheapos. You see, they got the gold in them. You know what I mean? You got to pay a pretty penny to get some of these. For real, for real. Just give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to get the homie in the zone. He said at 7. I'm putting nah, my nigga, right now. See, I jumped right in the game. Even though I usually get on at 7, shit, I get on at any time, man. If y'all need me to jump right on, I can jump right on. Sometimes I just like to take my time because I be busy and whatnot. Yeah, but shout out to everybody that's checking in. Let me check all my sites. Let me check Twitch, see if I'm in the game. Okay, Twitch, I'm in the game. Let's try Trovo. Trovo, am I in the game? Yep, Trovo, I'm in there stepping. All right, let me see. Oh yeah, Behance. Let's check Behance. See if we in the game. Last time we had 9 viewers watching. They watched the entire time. So let's check and see. Behance. Let me mute that so I'm not echoing. Okay, Behance, I am in the game. I'm just trying to go to the main page so I can see if there's any comments. So I don't want nobody feeling like I'm ignoring you. All right, let's got one more site to check into, and that's YouTube. Boom. Let's check into this YouTube. Oh, yep, I see damn. I'm right there on the front page. Okay, cool. So we in the game. I was about to do that Thugaboo cartoon, but that Thugaboo cartoon, I wasn't really feeling the way that was looking. Like, it just was very corny. And I was like, once I find the right pictures, then I'm going to jump right in the game. But I ain't really like the way that was looking. Like, that was looking very corny. I just wasn't feeling that. Like, a lot of the characters, they dress like the 50 Cent era, like the G-Unit era. Like, the main character had the hat with the do-rag under it. I'm like, what in the G-Unit is going on with this mess? But yeah, man. So I'm trying to see if the homie gonna come in. If he don't, we gonna go ahead and just get this tutorial running. I'm gonna keep my my zoom on just in case. Okay, he ain't coming in. All right, forget it. Let's go. All right, so what you want to do because we about to go ahead and start on the tutorial if you're watching. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the pen tool and the curvature tool for the people who have not seen my previous videos. Remember, the pen tool is for all of the straight lines. Let me show y'all real quick. As you see those straight lines I'm creating, those straight spiky lines and whatnot. This is what you use the pen tool for. The pen tool is mainly to get these type of lines. You can also use the pen tool to curve those lines too, but I just think it's better when you use the curvature tool. So let me go ahead and delete that. And the curvature tool is for those curved lines. So let's say you draw ears, eyes, body, no telling what you plan on making. This is what you use the curvature tool for. You use that for bending lines and creating curved lines, right? So that's what we're going to do. Now, what you want to do is the first thing you want to do is look at your subject and identify it. Like, look at different parts of it and identify what tools you'll have to use for these different parts. As you can see, his hairline, I see some straight spots in there. Like his head isn't too rounded. I see a lot of sharp parts in his hairline. I'm actually bring his color in a little bit more, just because that white, I can't see it like that. So let's change it up to about 68, 69. Okay, yeah, now I can see it a little bit better. But yeah, as you see, he has a lot of sharp parts. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this pen tool and I'm gonna get all the outer edges of his head, just like that. Boom, boom. Let me make the stroke smaller. To make your stroke smaller, what you want to do is just select your line, go to the top of your screen where it says stroke, and change that number either higher or lower to your preference. All right, I'm gonna select back on that, click my pen tool, click back on that anchor point so we can continue using the pen tool. So let's use that. This boy got an old cone head. Let's go ahead and get that popping. Boom. So now that we have our lines like that, I know it might look goofy, like what is this boy doing? But don't worry about it. Once you get all your anchor points put together, what you want to do now is use your curvature tool. Use your curvature tool and just start bending those areas. Start bending those areas until it's your desired point. Okay, Imran getting on. Hold on. We got him getting on. Let me know if you can hear me. Hold on, y'all. Let me switch it real quick to his. See if I can try to put the zoom on here. Nope, that ain't it. Zoom in. Okay, yep, there you go. Let's get you in there, bro. Audio and cannot hear you yet. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I'm gonna change my audio to my MacBook Pro speakers. Let me know if you can hear me. Say audio is connecting. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I think he's muted. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can unmute him real quick. Yeah, you muted. It says that you're muted. See if you can unmute yourself.
All right, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, now I can hear you. There we go. Now I'm trying to see your screen. Let me see your screen so I can walk you through it. You don't have to put the camera on yourself or anything. We can keep everything private. I don't want people seeing that.
All right.
I just want to see your screen so I can walk you through. I don't know why I still got this goofy ass picture on on Zoom. I'm tripping. Okay. All right, now where did you say you got stuck at? So basically you was trying to add in the line work, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the first things you want to do, well, you already have the brushes open, right? Because it just so it depends on how you want to add them in there. So what you can do, you could either move it kind of the way that I do my tutorials, where you could just use the pen tool and curvature tool, and then you can change the lines into the custom brushes. Or what you can do is just either just use the custom brushes and just go ahead and just swipe everything out just with your mouse. Now the way that you do that, you want to choose your paintbrush tool. Now you see on the left side toolbar is right under the curvature tool. If you click that paintbrush, you see it right under the curvature tool. Yep, click on that paint. No, that's a pencil tool. Right click that right quick. Now change that to the paintbrush tool. Yep, now go ahead and select whichever brush you was going to use. If you was going to use the I believe that's the 28, the custom brush. Yep, so go ahead and click that no, don't click it from there. Click it from the side. Click it from the sidebar. Hold up. Yeah, move your camera so I can see that. Yep. Now click it from there. Click that one. Click it. Boom. Once you click that, now try to draw with it now. See if it works. Just try to draw a line on the screen.
Yeah, it's good now.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay, cool. Now what I want you to do real quick is just draw around his eye. Like just try to draw like draw around his eye. Let's try to complete his eye real quick, just so I can make sure everything is on point. Now remember, if you want the lines to be straight or whatever, I think you gotta just double click the what's the name. Hold on, let me make sure because I don't want to say the wrong shit. Yeah, what you got to do is double click on the paintbrush tool and then just turn your fidelity either all the way up to smooth or back down to accurate to make the brush either smoother or more accurate to where it look like you actually literally drawing that shit. So just double click it. If you turn it all the way up, that's gonna make your lines more accurate. So if you're trying to make like perfect straight lines and perfect circles and shit like that, like that's what's gonna get you in the game. Now, if you make it more accurate, it's going to be extremely accurate, the exact way, like the way that you move it. You know, sometimes when you move with your natural hand, it's shaky. You know what I'm saying? So the shaky lines is cool when you doing shit like afros and dreadlocks and shit like that. But a lot of times when you're doing a project like that where you want to get it clean like that, you want to you don't want to take it all the way up, because if you take it all the way up, then the lines might get too straight. You know, you just want to take it close to the smooth. Take it up a little bit closer and then start drawing with it. That's how you get your lines real straight. And no, not there, the other way. Yep, about right there.
Okay.
Now hit OK. Now if you notice, once you start drawing with it, you can move a little bit faster and you won't mess up. Yep, if you notice, your line is more cleaner. It's not all squiggly looking and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So literally what you want to do is you want to just go ahead and go through that whole project and basically just get all your line work knocked out. Go ahead and get all your eyes and make sure you get hitting all the details. You see how he has details right above his eyes, like the way his skin is all rubbery looking and shit like an alien. You want to make sure you hitting all of those spots. Once you get all of your line work together, then you want to resize each line. And you already know within I mean, you can resize it to however you want it to go. But a lot of times when you're doing these type of cartoon designs or logo designs, you want your outer edges to be a little bit more thicker than your inner edges. Than your inner lines.
So it's on like a 1 now. So when I get to like the outer, hit it with like maybe a 2.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that right now. Usually when I do it, I work with the thin lines all the way through until I'm fully done with the line work. Then I go through and adjust. But you can do it however you feel like makes you comfortable. Like if adjusting it, changing it as you go. If you feel comfortable doing that, then work with it. But I'm just telling you the shit that I do that feels more natural when I'm doing it. But shit, do whatever feels comfortable to you, because I'm telling you, if you like you don't want to make it to where you're doing too much steps, because then it's gonna become tiring. You're gonna be like, fuck that, I ain't about to be doing this shit all day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you just wanna make sure you're maneuvering it so you can move as fast as possible without making too much error.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah. So if you get stuck at any more parts, just hit me up and I'll walk you right back through, bro.
All right. I appreciate you, bro.
Oh yeah, no problem. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I just wanted to show y'all that real quick. So just in case, like I always tell y'all, if y'all ever get to a point where you stuck on a project or whatnot and you trying to figure out what to do, especially if you get these custom brushes that you see me using. Like if you ever get to that point where you trying to use these custom brushes and you just probably just missed a step and you just trying to get back on track, just contact me. I'll try my best to try to navigate you as best as possible. Now, I'm not perfect now. I'll be messing up sometimes, but I try to operate and help you correct as good as possible. I see somebody, a couple people came in showing love. Let me see who that is. Okay, shout out to my brother. Shout out to J Stay 1K. Y'all make sure y'all go check out his music, J Stay 1K. Shout out to KK. Shout out to Daniel Nolte, always coming in showing love. Shout out to my guy Diz Does. My guy Brandon Montgomery, aka Diz Does. Make sure you go check out his music. And shout out my nigga Bobby, always coming in showing love to the game. Let me check these other sites. See who all came in. Yo, shout out to the people. Shout out to the people on Behance. I can't see your names, but shout out to you. Shout out to my people on Trovo. I only see 2 in there. And let me check YouTube. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. I can't see no names on that either. But shout out to everybody that's watching right now. Let's continue on the step that we was on. So like I said, what we was working on the on the dad from the Proud Family show. And what we doing right now is the line work. I low-key kind of forgot what I was talking about on this, but I'll just try to continue where I feel like I left off at. So right now we're working on the outer edges of his face. We're using the curvature tool and the pen tool to get the line work done. I'm going to make this template a little bit lighter so I can work a little bit better on it. I'm going to take this stroke down a little bit more. Boom, just like that. And to take the template down, what I want you to do is double click whichever your template layer is. And right where it says dim to images, take it down to wherever you need to take it. I'm going to take this one to 50. Boom, just like that. Now click back on your layer that you're drawing on, and let's get to work. He got a lot of sharp edges on him. I wonder what is the point of why they made their characters like this. You know, everybody has a different art style. Maybe the original design was like this purposely. And I noticed that there's a very strange graffiti looking style as far as the way that everything is put together on this design. Like if you notice, his ears doesn't really have a lot of detail. The details in his face are just small lines. If you want to, you could just right click that pencil tool, choose your paintbrush tool, and then just go in. You probably want to turn your stroke down, and you can go in and just draw it just like this. Just like that. Boom. Boom. I'm just detailing, getting these little lines in here. See how I'm getting those little lines? I'm just getting those outer edges. Right now I'm using the paintbrush tool. I don't usually show y'all me using the paintbrush tool, but sometimes I like to use it because I move a lot faster when I'm using it. But I really try not to get too advanced with y'all. I'm just trying to show y'all the pen tool and the curvature tool. So the way we could do this nose is pretty easy. A quick way you can do this is just make a bunch of anchor points with your pen tool and just click these edges. Boom, 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 boom. I know you're looking at that like, what are you doing? That looks unfinished, whatever. Don't worry about this. I'm a professional. All right, once you have it like that, once you made the anchor points on all the points of that, what you have to do is grab your curvature tool and just start bending. See that? Boom, boom, boom. We got the nose. Boom, just like that. Grab that right there. Boom, just like that. See how easy that was? You got to do a lot of bending. A lot of bending. As Janet Jackson would say, oh, you was doing the bending. You got to do a lot of bending when it come down to this, doing your line work. You got to be the king of bending. Pause on that. Heavy pause on that. But, you have to be the king of bending when it come down to this line work. Not in that type of way, but you know what I mean. You got to get all your line work right. You want to make sure when you're getting your line work on point that when a person sees it, they saying to themselves, this person knew what they was doing. And make sure the way that you add more anchor points to your line work as you using your curvature tool, just click on any part of the line. You see that red line? If I just click on it, boom, that adds a dot. That dot is an anchor point. So when you hear me say the word anchor point, that's what I'm talking about. We just adding anchor points. Trying to get his lips right. Let me click off that. Okay. My camera's starting to turn. Uh-oh. Might have to whip that tape out again. Shit, I had to whip the tape out last time. Shit was trying to expose my room. All right, let's go, y'all. He's getting his line work right. And if you're wondering, Jay, what the hell happened to your music? My nigga, I don't know. I used to have the music on here popping and whatnot, but for some weird reason, the music, like, it won't come back on. Streamlabs, they're not charging me. Like, I'm literally operating on Streamlabs for free right now. I'm using all of the multi-stream tools that you use in Ultra. I'm using all that stuff for free right now, and they not even basically it's like a bunch of features is gone. A bunch of features is gone, but they let me do this for free. So I'm not complaining, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I don't want them to try to, do some bugged out shit and try to double charge me on my card or something. I'm trying to pay these people. So if y'all can get in contact with Streamlabs, contact them and send them an email and say Jay trying to contact you. If they ask Jay who, you should say you already know. He just paid you before. Tell them it's Jay Damage. I'm trying to pay these people, man. These people ain't even let me pay them. I ain't trying to be using this stuff illegally. I don't know if I done hacked it on accident or some shit. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to pay them, man. Yeah, I don't like the way his eyes are. You see that? They got his eyelashes in a very girly way. Anybody who draws like cartoons, like usually you don't draw a man's eyelashes in this type of way. So whoever drew this cartoon, you tripping on that. I mean, I appreciate the art style. I appreciate any art style that's, showing love to my black individuals. But this is not good eyelashes for a man. You don't want to make these type of eyelashes for a man. You want a man's eyelashes to be very minimum. You don't want them thick like this because it looks like he has eyeshadow. Whenever you add eyeshadow to a girl character, you do something very similar to this. Basically, I'm going to show y'all. Basically, you add, of course, like this line, like this thick line at the top. And then what you do is I'm going to show y'all with the paintbrush tool. Basically, you add little stroke lines right next to it. So like, let's say this was a woman design. I was drawing a woman. Then you would add either some eyelashes like that. And you see, looks like a girl. That's the reason why you don't want to do that when it comes to a boy character. So that's just a little bit of advice. A little bit of advice for y'all just in case, you getting into cartoon work. And just to be clear, don't get it twisted. Just because you see me working on some cartoons that's famous and whatnot, I make my own cartoons every single day. I just like working on these just so I can show y'all this is as an exercise to help you guys navigate. And I just noticed one eye is bigger than the other. That's weird. So because I just wanted to duplicate it, but his eye is weird. There's a lot of funny style stuff with his face. Let's reflect. Let's drag that over. Yeah, his other eye is completely different. Let's try to. Usually when cartoons, I know this as a cartoonist, usually when cartoonists make cartoons, they usually duplicate a lot of these eyes. They duplicate ears. If you notice, this whole character is unique. Like each eye is unique, his nose. You see both ears aren't the same. This is kind of rare in cartoons. Usually in cartoons, everything isn't like duplicated in that type of manner. Everything is kind of organized, if that makes sense. So, shout out to everybody that's watching. Shout out to Latricia Perry. Yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to her. I haven't heard from her in a very long time. Hopefully everything's all right with her. But yeah, let's continue. I'm gonna try to keep his eye like that, even though his eye look kind of weird. He look goofy without his. Let me turn him back on. But yeah, okay. So what we want to do is hit all of those anchor points. Like I told y'all, hit those anchor points. Wait, boom, boom. Once you hit those anchor points, let's go ahead and do some bending. Let's move this anchor point in a little bit. You want that to be sharp. Yep, all you gotta do is move it in like that. That's how you catch that sharpness. Wow, everything on him is unique. I never peeped this about Proud Family. Like anytime I've looked at this show, I've never like fully paid attention. I can't even tell you a Proud Family episode. Like I wasn't really into that. Proud Family was like girly to me. Like when I was coming up, like I used to be like girly dudes like be watching Proud Family and stuff for real. But I actually seen an episode one time and I was like, okay, I see what people like about this show. It was all right. Like, when I was younger, I wasn't into that, man. I wasn't into Proud Family, but when I watched the episode of it, I was like, oh, okay, this kind of dope. Like I seen an episode where they got the singing and all type of stuff. I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. But Proud Family wasn't my thing though. I wasn't like sitting around like at home waiting for Proud Family to come on after school. Like I wasn't one of them type of dudes, just to be clear. And his hairline is trash. Like this making me feel like a black person did not draw the Proud Family or do the animations, because their hairlines is trash. And then like a lot of the outer edges is in color. I don't see a black designer designing like that, but you never know. So I think he has a fade. No, he does. He just got a trash. He's got a trash regular hairline. So we're gonna continue just to add that in there. We're gonna use the wow. This is my first video where I ever been showing y'all me using the paintbrush tool. Let's use the paintbrush tool to get those lines. Boom. If you ever mess up, like let's say you making some lines, let's say you just, you out there making some lines and you mess up, what you want to do is just hit Command Z. That's how you undo. Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z. That's all you gotta do. Once you hit that Command Z, that's gonna hurry up and get rid of anything that you created that you may have possibly messed up on. Now, as you can see right here, these are just a bunch of curved lines. You already know what we're gonna do. That's the pen tool. Hit all those anchor points, aka all the sharp points, just like that. Then we're gonna grab that curvature tool and you're gonna get the bending. See? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That easy. That easy. We already done with his face. I'm gonna go ahead and add these little details on his in his ear, even though they don't even match. But we're gonna add it in there anyway. That's 1. Let's get the other one out the way. I'm thinking about doing some research and seeing who designed the Proud Family. You will be surprised that a lot of black cartoons are not even designed by black people. And a lot of the people who design a lot of these black cartoons, they're not even like really into like black culture like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not really into urban design. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when you create cartoon shows like this, you usually want to work with a black designer or somebody who is a little bit more educated in urban design. So, somebody is not creating anything that may be possibly offensive or something that just doesn't even really look like our people. See, that was happening a lot a long time ago in cartoons. That's why if you ever notice in a lot of older cartoons that you've seen, there was always like characters and things that looked like sort of racist. Because like you have to think like back in those eras, way back then, like because cartoons stem all the way back to 1930s, 1940s. A lot of people back then, they were doing like a lot of racist stuff, but a lot of times people look at that in a sense of that kind of was what that time was what things was like at that time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why you see like a lot of characters either looking goofy in a racist way or like saying and doing racist things. Like I remember there was this thing where Bugs Bunny had went viral at a point in time because people were saying, "Oh, Bugs Bunny racist." Well, Bugs Bunny isn't technically racist, but a long time ago, the people who were making Bugs Bunny, weren't too, I guess, friendly of black people. Not only black people though, other races too, because they used to have like weird racist episodes about like Asians and Indians and things of that nature. That was just something within the times back then. And that was the reason why they made those strange looking characters. I even noticed on Tom and Jerry one time, I'm not sure if y'all are Tom and Jerry fans, but I remember there used to be a black mother of Tom, the cat. And she used to take care of Tom. And I never really peeped this when I was a kid. Well, I peeped it, but I never peeped how crazy she looked. There's a black woman that takes care of Tom, and you never see her face, but you always see her hands. Her hands are like extremely dark, and then the inside of her hands are like extremely pale. Now, I'm not just going to accuse somebody of racism and all that type of stuff, but you have to think, like I said, a lot of cartoonists back then would make characters look, especially black characters, look that type of way. almost as if they just kind of assumed black characters need to look that type of way. So that's why representation is a big thing. I feel like once you're working on something for a certain race, you want to make sure you include that race just so something isn't too offensive. I've spoke about this in other videos. I just wanted to say that to individuals who plan on doing designs for African Americans, Asians, or anybody that is not of their race. You know what I'm saying? Just try to be respectful. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, as far as the representation for Proud Family, it was always pretty good from what I've heard. I've never heard about nothing too goofy on Proud Family that was disrespectful towards black people or anything like that. So if you look at Oscar Proud's outfit, his outfit is very old school to me. And you don't really see black gentlemen dressed like this unless they're a little older or kind of within a professional field. So I think this is the type of person they're trying to portray with this type of character. Let's go ahead and get that leg. Pay attention that as you see me using this curvature tool, pay attention that I'm paying attention to the way that the lines are moving. And I'm creating more and more anchor points to make sure that everything fits perfectly. If you just now checking into this video or any of my videos, there is a reason why I overlap these lines, just in case you're wondering. I overlap these lines solely for the purpose to keep the lines as clean as possible once we get into the process, well, our next step after doing the line work. Now, you don't necessarily have to overlap your lines, like I always say, but as a beginner, it's good to overlap your lines just so you can make sure you're getting your lines as crispy as possible. Crispy, for the people who don't know, in our culture, we call things crispy when they're very clean. I know some of y'all might have heard me say crispy and be like, what, crispy? Crispy like you guys is chicken? No, not crispy in that type of way. All right, so we're doing his hands. His hands have a very sharp look to him. His hands is very squared out like some French fries. So we just anchor point, anchor point, anchor point, anchor point. Then you just bend. Curvature tool, bend it just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Just make sure you're hitting all of those anchor points. Make sure you're getting as clean as possible, especially if this is for a customer. If this is for a customer, don't move as fast as you see me moving. You know, make sure you take your time and get these lines as perfect as possible. If you're working for a customer, you want that customer to know that you took your time with this project, you didn't rush through it, and you got all the lines correct. I'm letting y'all know right now, if you plan on becoming a graphic designer, you don't want to rush on your projects or rush through line work and things of that nature, because certain things, number one, you never know what design is going to blow up. And a lot of times you may have a customer that may want to get this design printed on a very large print. So trust me, you don't want this to happen. You don't want to be lazy if they're printing it out on a large print, because man, once they put it on a large print, they're going to see everything you messed up on. So that's the main reason why anytime you're working with a customer, make sure you get it as perfect as possible. And don't be slacking. Okay, let's get his shirt right. Remember, every single time you finish one part, you want to click off of whatever you're working on. As you can see, like right now, you see I do a line, intersect that line just like that, boom. And then once I feel like I've completed that, I click on my selection tool and then I click off of it. A person had got confused with that the other day. They inboxed me about that. Like, how are you starting on the next thing like that? That's because I'm clicking off of whatever I'm working on. Okay, let's get that. Boom, 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 boom. Curvature tool, bend, bend, bend. Click off of it. Curvature tool. Get that line. You want it to be a lot of lines when you're working with this method. Just get that. Boom. Boom. I don't know why. Every time I sit in this chair for a long time, my back just start hurting. Maybe because I'm not sitting straight. Let me move in closer. Hold on. Try to move in closer on this bit. Hold on. I don't know what it is about a new chair. It's like every time I get a new chair, it's just uncomfortable when I first sit in it. It usually take me like a little while of sitting in it, so I start feeling comfortable. These new chairs be stiff. Let's get his hand. Boom. Anchor point, anchor point, anchor point. Curvature tool. Just hit that. Let me check the sites real quick, y'all. I want to make sure I'm not ignoring nobody. Let me refresh that. Okay, we good. Twitch. Oh, somebody on Twitch named Pedikin says lurking. Yo, shout out to whoever that is. Yo, shout out to 4YHAM1118. Yo, shout out to you for joining in, coming in, showing love. I appreciate you. I feel like I came to your page earlier. Yo, shout out to you for coming back and just checking in. Yo, shout out to Chaos Red for coming in and checking in. And shout out to the 3 people on Behance for coming in, checking in. Shout out to the 2 people on YouTube. Shout out to the people on Twitch. Shout out to the people who watch these entire videos. Like I always tell y'all, you do not have to watch this entire video, because a lot of times I create these for y'all to watch these for tutorials. You can go ahead and rewind back just in case you missed anything. But to the people that like to just come in and just watch me work, I appreciate you. So let's go ahead and continue. We're working on his fingers. We are like, I'd say 50% done with the line work. I'm just getting all the small details. I want to make sure that this design is correct before I move on to the next step. If you've already followed my videos previously, you already know the way that I operate and the way that I put these steps together. And if you have a question at any time, don't hesitate to ask me, and I try to answer you to the best of my ability so you don't get lost doing this. And as you see, there's a lot of lines next to each other. And if you feel like the lines are becoming too much for you or they're in the way, what I always recommend is select all the lines and just make them smaller. So I'll select all the lines. Instead of 0.25, let's change that to 0.15. Boom. So then once I zoom back in, the lines aren't as big and intimidating. I know sometimes that could be a problem for people. Let's get that. Boom. Boom. Let's go ahead and get that right. Okay, because he's supposed to be holding his tie. Okay, yeah. Okay, confusing me for a second. It's supposed to be his suspenders. As you see, I'm just using the curvature tool. Let me straighten that up. Boom. Make sure you always turning off your project on and off just to check your progress and see how it's looking. Now, if you see how it's looking right now, it's looking exactly like him. You want to make sure you're achieving this sort of look. And that's the main reason why I overlap those lines, because I want it to look very accurate. I want it to look like I was in the actual cartoon studio working on it. So let's continue, y'all. Let's take our time and get this right. Okay, boom. Boom, come on. Just right there. Boom. No, I'm gonna have to make another one. Boom, just like that. Get that worked in. Boom. Let's get that. Boom. Let's get his sleeve right there. I didn't peep that. Make sure you zoom in all the way in and all the way out. You don't want to be missing these lines, y'all. Trust me. You don't want to do that. When you miss lines, you'll mess up your project for the future. You have to be doing a lot of going back and fixing things. And trust and believe, you don't want that to happen. You want to make sure you get everything knocked out, because when you don't, it becomes a problem in the future. So whatever you slack on and try, you can't cut corners in this type of process. You cut corners, you could ruin a project. I mean, unless you're just that good where you could just cut corners and fix stuff in the future, but I wouldn't recommend it. Don't cut corners when it comes to this type of shit. You want to be on point. You can see we're going around with our line work, using that curvature tool, and getting those lines nice and bent correctly. Add as many anchor points in order to get this right. And to all my people who is new to this, when you first start, you'll find yourself doing what I'm doing right now. Sometimes you'll find yourself paying attention and fixing lines a lot. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But you want to move a little bit faster when you're working for a customer or for a company. When you work for a company, they usually pay you based off your performance and your speed. You don't want to be that type of designer that takes a very long time to get something done, because then, you know, of course, they won't want you won't be main priority for most projects. You want to be moving fast but accurate. Okay, let's go. Boom. All right, boom. Let's get these lines together. Boom. Boom. And we almost done. We almost done with the line work. We about 90%. We're just getting all these extra details knocked out and getting these ugly shoes done. I would not have made his shoes look long and goofy like this. But as soon as I finish this line work, y'all, I'm going to check real quick and see who designed the Proud family. I would like to know that. I'll tell you a fun fact. Most of your favorite shoes, so-called black shoes like Jordans and, you know, shoes that people claim that black people wear all the time. What if I told you that almost all of those shoes aren't even designed by black people? They aren't designed by black people or owned by black people. But we are stereotyped that we wear them. But in reality, we have no ownership of them. These are just shoes that basically got stamped onto us because some rapper or some entertainer was rocking them a lot. Yeah, but y'all would be surprised that most shoes aren't even designed by black people. It's even Yeezys. I know a lot of people be like, "Oh, Kanye, he's a black man. He owns that company." Y'all don't even know, man. Kanye is creative. I'm not going to take that away from him, but Kanye don't be doing shit, man. There's a team of people that's designing them shoes and putting that shit together. There's even a rumor that he just married one of the girls that designed the shoes. And she ain't black. Let's just say that. So, which I don't mind other races designing the shoes. I just don't like when a black person says this is black owned. We blackety black. But you're not even really truly have ownership or designing the things. So you taking credit for stuff you're not even doing. Okay, let's continue. All right, if you see what we have now, we have the line work finished. I'm gonna make the lines a little bit thicker so y'all can see. Y'all can see where we at. Let me try to change all the lines all to the same basic thing. Okay, as you can see, this is how it should look. As you can see, we can see all the details knocked out. Now, what you want to do first when you're working on a project like this, you want to be creating your own project. Don't be tracing over like I'm doing on this exercise. You want to be having your own project. What you want to do is trace over your project, and then what I want you to do is go through and make sure you covered all ground before you get to this next step. Make sure you look at all the details of your design. Make sure you covered all ground. Make sure everything is in there, all the way to a damn fingernail. Everything. Zoom in and zoom out. Make sure you got every detail. See, look. Ooh, look. I'm missing stuff. That's the main reason why I tell you, do not forget this step before we get to the next one. Make sure you're getting all these details knocked out. Forgot the fingernail and the line right above that. Let's add that in there. And I think we good. I think that was it. Okay, cool. So let's turn off our template layer. And what we want to do now is select, oh, hold up. Matter of fact, before we continue, let me make sure there's no questions. Let me make sure there's no questions. I want to make sure nobody got lost. Anybody that's possibly watching. I don't want you to get lost and confused. Yo, shout out Chaos Red. Let's go. Let's see. Okay, no questions. Let's go. All right. So what I want you to do is now select this entire project. Select this entire thing. Boom. Just like that. You see I have that selected? You'll know the entire thing is selected if you hover your mouse over it, click and hold down like that, and create a big square around the entire thing. Boom. That's going to select the entire thing. You'll know you'll have it selected when the whole thing is highlighted a certain color, just like that, right? Once you have it highlighted like that, what I want you to do is go to the top of the screen and then click on Object and then click on Group. Boom. Now what you have done, you have now grouped all of your line work, so now everything is now moving with each other. I'll show you. If I try to click on any part of this project, it's going to move the entire thing. It's not just going to move one line within the line work, right? So then after we have all of that done, this is what I want you to do next. Select the entire thing. Again, go back up to the top of the screen and click Object, and then scroll down to Expand. Boom. Once you click Expand, a menu will pop up. Don't worry about it. Don't click on anything except for OK. Click OK. Boom. Once you click OK, you have now expanded all of your line work. You have turned your lines into shapes. So now all of your lines that you have are now turned into shapes. Hold on, let me check. I look like my camera's starting to drift off. Oh, no, he ain't went nowhere. Okay, cool. So now once you did that, what I want you to do now is go to the right side of the screen. What you want to do is go to the right side of your toolbar and click on Pathfinder. It should be a button that says Pathfinder. If you don't see this button, all you have to do is click on the top of the screen, click on Window. It's right next to the to Help. Click on Window, scroll down all the way down till you get to the P's, and then click on Pathfinder. It's right under Navigator. You should see Pathfinder. Click on Pathfinder. If you don't see Pathfinder, reset your whole entire program. Something ain't right. But if you see it, then click on that. Once you click on that Pathfinder, make sure everything is still selected. And what I want you to do is click on Divide. Boom. Once you click on Divide, it's going to look like nothing happened. Don't worry about it. Just click off of your subject. Boom. Click off of it. And then what I want you to do now is click on the white selection tool. The white selection tool is called the direct selection tool. It's right next to your black selection tool. It should like a white mouse. If you hover your mouse over it, it says direct selection tool. The name should pop up. So click on that. Now what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of all those access lines that I told y'all about earlier. So remember when I told y'all about overshooting your lines, making sure all your lines are going past. Now we're going to get rid of those. Once we start getting rid of those, then the project is going to start coming to life. So what you want to do, there's two ways you could do this. You could either just click it and keep hitting delete till it's gone. Click it, keep hitting delete till it's gone. Click it, keep hitting delete till it's gone. We could either do it like that, or what we can do to move a little bit faster is hold shift and just start selecting them. Just like that. Select more than one. Just select multiple lines. Let's just go through and keep select. Make sure you hold and shift as you're doing this. Keep selecting multiple lines, just like that. And then once you feel like you have enough lines selected, just keep hitting delete till everything gone. You see that? Everything is gone. Now this project is starting to come alive. Let's go around his eyes. Hold shift, start clicking. Boom. That's all we doing, just getting rid of stuff. Hold shift, get rid of it. Or like I said, you don't have to hold shift. You could just click in, delete. That simple. Just click in and delete. Now, mind you, this process I'm showing you, you could be doing this a lot faster than what I'm doing. I'm just taking my time to show y'all this so I can make sure y'all doing this correctly. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube or whatever, or if you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, Trovo, you won't see certain things that I'm doing far as like different menu items that I'm clicking on. But don't worry about it. If you are following this video, not on live, but if you're following this video while you're on Illustrator, you'll be able to follow step by step with everything that I'm doing. If you watching me while you're using Illustrator, then everything that I'm saying would make sense right now. It's gonna sound weird if you're not using Illustrator while I'm doing this, but if you are using Illustrator, then everything's gonna make sense. I just don't want to confuse anybody that's watching. That's probably like, I don't even see that. Every time you click on something, I don't even see what you're talking about. Okay, now what happened right here, if you notice, when I click on this line, the lines have intersected, but do not worry, you didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes in the program, it just intersects certain lines. So all you have to do to fix this is we have to go in and do some surgery. So what I want you to do is grab that curvature tool. As soon as you click on the curvature tool, make sure this is selected before you click your curvature tool. Make sure that's selected, click your curvature tool, and you'll see all these dots. You see all these anchor points? What we want to do now is we're manually going to get rid of those anchor points. So just click on the anchor point you want to get rid of and hit delete. Boom. Just click it, delete. Click, delete. Click, delete. We want this to be sharp, just like that. So let's get rid of these ones too. Delete. Click, delete. Remember, we're clicking these anchor points. Boom. Now we have a perfect collar, just like that. So just in case that happens to you, don't worry, you have done nothing wrong. Sometimes the program just does that. I don't have an explanation. I actually wrote them about that and was asking if that's an error. They act like they didn't even know what the hell I was talking about. So I said, you know what? I'm going to leave it alone. Maybe they'll fix it within the next update. But until then, that's what you got to do, you know. Illustrator is flawed, y'all. So sometimes if I say something and you don't see it on Illustrator, make sure you restart Illustrator. And sometimes if you restart it and things still don't seem right, uninstall that shit. Yeah, uninstall it and then reinstall it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen people run into certain things. I remember one time a person told me they don't see the white selection tool. I was like, what? So like if you ever end up in these weird situations, either restart your Illustrator or uninstall it and reinstall it. And remember, to the people who are watching and you probably are confused or your menu buttons don't look the exact way mine does, what you want to do is go to the top right-hand corner of the screen and click on Switch Workspace. As soon as you click on Switch Workspace, choose Automation. Automation is the type of workspace that I'm working on right now, just in case you're probably not seeing your screen arranged the type of way that mine is arranged, okay? All right. Only reason why I'm talking so much, I'm just trying to make sure anybody that might be watching this back, I don't want y'all to be confused. Like, what is he talking about? I don't see that on here. Okay, let's get this tie right. If you're just now checking in, what we're doing, we are getting rid of all of the access lines that we overlapped earlier in the line work process. That's all we doing. If you look at it, it's already starting to look like them. Look at it. It's already starting to look like them. We're already making big progress right now. Let's go ahead and get rid of those access. I thought my boy Travis was going to call in, but it's all good. I'm pretty sure if I contacted him, he's going to call in, but I ain't contacting him. I'll contact him once I get off here. Yeah, but if y'all ever get stuck, I can show you on live. of how to get your project back right. Oh yeah. Another thing is, I forgot to mention this. A person contacted me and they said that they wanted me to work with their child on working on this on Illustrator, teaching them how to do cartoons. Now, understand I do not mind working with anybody, whether that be a child or an adult, but I don't want to work with a child unless that child is under adult supervision. I don't play none of that weird shit or me teaching a child without a parent around. I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable. If you do want me to teach your child, I would prefer for you to sit in during the entire session and make sure that that person is paying attention, staying on point. I would hate for you to waste your money and the child ain't even listening. So, yeah, there's that. I just wanted to put that out there just in case, because some of y'all try to throw your kids on me. Man, I want my kid to learn this. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no, understand you got to pay the fee. You know, if you think I'm handsome, you got to pay my ransom. And then, you have to be there to monitor your child. I'm not about to, I'm not here to babysit. I'm just teaching. All right. Now, as you can see, we have all of the line work done. Before we get to the coloring step, let me check and make sure nobody said nothing. I want to make sure it's quiet. Make sure it's quiet on this set before I continue. Okay, cool. Facebook quiet. Behance, y'all in there watching, but y'all quiet. Perfect. Yo, shout out to all the people watching on Trovo. Quiet. Let's go. Shout out to 2 new people watching on Behance. Quiet. Cool. Perfect. YouTube, same people. Quiet. Perfect. All right. So everybody's quiet. So let's go to the next step. So what you want to do is well, first off, what you want to do is zoom in and make sure you didn't miss anything. So before you get to this next step, make sure you didn't miss anything. Make sure you zoom in. Make sure none of your overlapped lines is still in there. You want to make sure everything is on point. Make sure all your colors, not colors, all your lines, nothing is intersecting and everything is clean as possible before we get to this next step. Okay, cool. I think I'm on point. So let's select this entire thing just like that. Boom. Use the regular selection tool, not the white selection tool, okay? Excuse me. Sorry about that, y'all. My laptop is rattling all over the place. So select the entire thing like I said. Now go to the top of the screen, click on Object, scroll down to Live Paint, and then click on Make. Boom. Once you click on Make, it's going to look like nothing happened. Don't worry about it. Something did happen. Now you have changed your project to where you can now live paint it and color it with the paint bucket tool. So what I want you to do is click off of it to where it's no longer highlighted and click on your live paint bucket tool on the left side toolbar. It should be right there on the bottom, right above the closed box, right there, right above your color box. If you hover your mouse over it, it should say Live Paint Bucket Tool. If you do not see the Live Paint Bucket Tool, this is what I want you to do. Go to the very bottom of your left side toolbar, click on those 3 dots. Boom. Once you click on those 3 dots, a toolbar menu will open that says All Tools. What I want you to do is scroll around in that toolbar menu until you see a paint bucket. That paint bucket is for the live paint, for live painting, excuse me. So once you have, what the hell? So once you have your live paint bucket tool selected, the way that you'll know that you did this whole step right, as soon as you click on your live paint bucket tool and you hover it over your subject, you should see lines highlighting, just like this. You see that? You should see lines highlighting, just like this. If you paid attention and you followed this step correctly, you should see this. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and start coloring in this project. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our original layer, which is the template layer of him and his color. We're going to turn that template off. So double click that layer 1 and then click on template and then press OK. That's going to turn him back to normal. And when we're going to drag that picture over just like that. Boom. To where we can see everything is separated just like that. So let's click off of that. Let's lock that layer. So go to that layer and right next to the eye symbol right there, click right there in the open box. Boom, that's going to lock your layer. All right, click back on your other layer that you have your line work on. And what I want you to do, okay, there's two ways to do this. You could either double click on this color box right under your live paint bucket and choose whatever color you would like to choose. If you have some custom colors that you would like to choose, you could go ahead and do it like that. What I prefer to do is use what I call the eyedropper tool. The eyedropper tool is this tool that looks kind of like a squirt bottle. It's literally the 6th button down on the right side of your left side toolbar. It looks like a squirt bottle. Click on that. And what I do, because I like to get the colors from the... Okay, anyways, I like to get the colors from the original drawing. So what you want to do is just click on whatever color you want to get. Just click on it. So I'm click on the skin because I like to do the skin first. I mean, excuse me, I like to do the blacks first, not the skin. So let's color in all the blacks first. So obviously in black people, you know, we, of course, most of us, we have black hair. So let's color in his hair. Let's color in the dots in his eyes. Let's color in his eyelashes, even though they look very girly. I don't think nothing else on him is black. I think his shoes is like a dark blue, navy blue, or gray. So, okay, we already have that colored in. Oh, no, not his eyebrows. I'm tripping. His eyebrows. Make sure you get all those blacks in. All right, next step, let's get the skin. Click on the eyedropper tool. Click the skin. Now we have the color of the skin selected. Now click back on your live paint bucket tool. Let's start coloring in the skin. Boom. If you notice, it's already starting to look like him. We just slowly painting things in. If you see any holes, make sure you click in all your holes. I believe his eyes are brown. Let's color in those eyes. His lips look goofy right now. But yeah, his lips are darker. So we're going to color those in afterwards. I'm just trying to get all of his skin parts. I know he doesn't have like darker and lighter skin. Proud Family was not focused on highlights and shadows. They were pretty basic on the colors. So let's just keep coloring in the skin. If you're just now checking in on this video, I just showed y'all how to start coloring the project. What we're doing now is coloring in all of the skin parts. If you see any holes in any parts of the coloring process, just zoom in and color them in. Okay, I think that's it for the skin. Let's get his lips. His lips is slightly darker, not too much darker. Remember, if you are a cartoonist and you're working on art of black people, understand that black people, the color of our lips are different depending on your skin tone. A lot of times, like with people like me who are dark skinned, if you notice, let me make sure I'm telling y'all this shit right. Let me see if I can see myself. Okay, cool. If you notice with dark-skinned people, dark-skinned black people, our top lip is usually kind of close to our skin tone, and then our bottom lips is a lot more pinker. And it's just different sometimes. Sometimes you may run into a dark-skinned person whose lips are all mostly light pink, and then sometimes you'll run into some dark-skinned people who got them black lips from smoking them blacks. You know what I'm saying? Where their whole lips is black. Even their gums is black, like Whoopi Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? That this ain't that situation, but I'm just saying a lot of times when you're drawing cartoons of black people, you want to make sure that that top lip is a little bit darker than the skin tone, just like how his is, and the bottom lip is like that slight pink, right, that slight pink, a little bit away from brown. That's how you want to make your average black cartoon. And I'm telling you, this is very important for people who are not black, because if you are making black cartoons, you don't want to be making something that may be possibly offensive. When you're making giant red lips and things of that nature, that is offensive to black people. You do not want to do that. And you do not want to get canceled when you probably just started your graphic design career. Try to be respectful to people's cultures. If you're working on an Asian person, don't make all those extra crazy stuff. You want to be respectful to people's cultures. So that's just some quick advice for anybody who plans on being a cartoonist. So let's continue. I feel like I see somebody saying something. Hold on, y'all. Oh, yo, shout out to my son. I see my son in here saying stuff. Yo, shout out to my son, man, in here lurking. My son Christian in here. Yo, shout out to my son. He probably in the other room watching right now. All right, let's continue. That threw me off. I'm like, who is this commenting? That's my son. All right, let's grab the eyedropper tool, and let's get those colors. Let's get his pants, His pants and his suspenders, they all look like they're the same color. I think the suspenders are possibly slightly darker. So we colored in his pants. Let's make his suspenders slightly darker. Boom. Now let's color those in just like that. And this is like the easy part once you get to this point. All you're doing is just using your eyedropper tool, clicking in those colors, and then just painting stuff in. This is so easy a little kid could do this part. Now the next step is a little bit harder. But actually we're not gonna go into highlights and shadows. We're just doing simple colors today, y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all on this video for too long. But if you want me to get into that, just request it, and I will come back and add highlights and shadows if that's what y'all desire. Let's go ahead and get that colored in. Boom. Boom. Okay, now I think his tie was like purple or something. What color was that? Yeah, it is purple. Let's get that purple in there. Boom. Boom. His collar was white, if I'm not mistaken. Let's color that in. Boom. Yeah, his collar looks like an off-white. Let's click that. Let's color that in. If you notice, I am using black outlines. The original Proud Family characters do not have, full black outlines. I just wanted to do the black outlines to show y'all how this is gonna go. But understand, if you do want to make these outer lines colored, just kind of like how his are, all you would have to do is just use that eyedropper tool and select the color on that, and you can actually manually go in and color these yourself. I'll show you. Just start clicking on these outer edges and just start coloring them. Just like that. So just in case any of y'all like, man, I want this shit to be original. You can go ahead and manually go ahead and get it in. But I personally don't feel like doing that. So let's continue. We almost done. Let's get his shirt. Let's color that in. Let's color that in. Okay, I think we pretty much done with the shirt. Matter of fact, I'm gonna color the inside under his wrist black. I feel like that should be black. Sometimes when you have little holes like that, just color those in black. Okay, so cool. We got that. Now let's get his socks. His socks are purple just like his tie. They're purple and blue. No, they're just light purple and dark purple. So let's go ahead and color that in. Get those knocked out. Boom. Okay, I think somebody just sent me some money on Cash App. Oh, why Streamlabs just try to charge me when my card is locked? Are you serious, dude? Oh, man, bro. Oh, man, that's gonna be... Man, it's like every time I want them to charge me, they don't charge me. Yo, I'm just kidding. Yo, they get on my nerves with this shit, man. It's like now I want to unlock my car, but then I'm like, damn, I don't even know. Man, bro, I don't know what's going on with this company, man. They need to make up their mind. Is you going to charge me or not? Stop waiting until my card is locked to try to charge me again. Crazy. So, yo, if y'all just now checking in, right now I'm just doing the very last step of this project, which is just the colors. Go ahead and get these colors knocked out. Make sure you zoom in all the way in to get these colors fully knocked out. We almost done, y'all. Boom, boom. And look at that. Boom. That's how you do it. That's simple. That's simple. Now, like I said, if you wanted to detail this a little bit more, you can add highlights and shadows to it, which if we were adding shadows, I would say the shadows, if you want to add shadows, you want to add shadows based off of the light source of how you're putting together your design. If the light source is coming from in front of the face and the body, you want all the shadows to be behind the character and under his arm. you know, between the legs, right under his pants that's flooding. You know, you want to hit your shadows on those areas, and then your highlights, you want to put those on outer edges, like outer edges of his skin, the clothes. You really want the skin to almost look as if it's glowing. And that's really it for this tutorial, man. That's really it. So let's check and see, make sure there's no more questions, and we can go ahead and wrap this up, y'all. That was pretty simple. Let's check. Let's check. Let's check. Nope. Yo, shout out to the man. Yo, shout out to the people on Behance. People on Behance always stay for the entire time. I really appreciate that. Okay, yeah. So that's it, y'all. So we gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I'm gonna go ahead and make my ad picture for this. If you have any questions or comments or anything, make sure you put that in the comment section. If you had anything that you wanted to ask me, make sure you come to my inbox far as the steps of how things are getting put together. Or if you have a request, go ahead and hit me in my inbox. You can contact me via social media. Search me on YouTube, Trovo, Facebook, Instagram. All you have to do is search J Damage, JAYDAMAGE. For Twitch, it's the real J Damage, like DAREAL JAYDAMAGE. And yeah. So basically, if there it's something else I was supposed to tell y'all too. Oh yeah, I will be back on live tomorrow at around 6 p.m. I just decided to start early today so I can also show somebody some steps on how to put a design together. And just in case y'all need some steps to put a design together, all you have to do is contact me. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up off of here, and we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. I appreciate y'all for checking me out.